Hello and welcome to another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Charlie Brigham here for the Michigan Wolverines against the Texas Longhorns here on day 2 of Michigan's time out in Fullerton, California at the Judi Garman tournament. Today it'll be Michigan and Texas, a matchup of two top 25 teams. Both teams coming off surprising losses, though. Michigan lost a tough one, 2-1. At the hands of Loyola Marymount yesterday, and Texas just dropped a really surprising game 4-3 at the hands of Fresno State after knocking off number 2 Washington last night. So both teams seem to be a little hungry here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither team really happy with the outcome to start this weekend. Going to look to jump back here. A very competitive game. Got a top 15 matchup, like you said. Number 13 Michigan versus number 3, Texas. It's going to be a great game.
And now we can go through the lineups. Charlie, if you want to read us through the lineups.
Absolutely. For Michigan, leading off, we got Julia Jimenez batting second, and Lexi Blair. They're playing shortstop and left field, respectively. Playing first, batting third is Lou Allen. At the designated player spot, batting cleanup is Abby Skvars. In the 5-hole, we got Hannah Carson catching. 6 got Maddie Uden playing third. 7, Haley Hoganrod in center field. At second base, batting eighth, got Morgan Overitis. And closing out this Michigan lineup in the 9 spot, got Lauren Essman over there in right field.
And they'll be facing Shaylin O'Leary in the circle for Texas. So Michigan, you could say, maybe caught a break not facing Miranda Ellish. O'Leary a 2.75 ERA, 35 and 2/3 innings, 34 hits, 8 walks. She's still a pretty darn good pitcher, and Michigan's going to need to do something to break out of this offensive slump. And O'Leary winds up. We're running a little bit ahead of schedule. First pitch is a called strike. They said 3:15. First pitch today at 3:09 as Jimenez takes that one for a called strike.
Yeah, Michigan going to look to jump out early. Only put up 1 run in their last game against Loyola Marymount. Going to have to put up more than that today against Texas.
That one down and in on Jimenez. They scored in the first inning yesterday, gave up 2 in the second, and then did not score again the rest of the game. Lost 2-1 in a really tough one.
Yeah, obviously not happy with that outcome. They just really couldn't get anything to drop. Loyola Marymount played very good defense.
That pitch outside from O'Leary. And count goes to 2-1.
You know, one thing that Michigan did very well yesterday was putting the ball in play, making, if you're going to win these kind of games, you need to make the defense make mistakes. Unfortunately for Michigan, Loyola Marymount just didn't make any.
2-1 coming. Jimenez pops this one up, shallow left field. Coming over and making the play there is Reagan Hathaway for the first out. And that's a big first out for O'Leary, getting settled down in this game. As Lexi Blair steps up, she's been bounced back up to the top of the lineup after another kind of tough game yesterday, still sputtering a little bit. No better time to break out than here early in this one. Want to thank all of you for joining us on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor, as well as on YouTube. First pitch there is a little up high for ball 1. Game time temperature today here in Fullerton, 70 degrees and sunny. Humidity 47%. Very little wind, south-southwest at 9 miles an hour. That pitch is low. 2-0 on Blair. Feels like 70 exactly. Blair will dig back in a 2-0 lead, and first pitch time 3:07 Pacific Standard Time. 2-0 on the way, and Blair pops this one up in the infield, coming over and making the easy play there. For the second out is Colleen Sullivan.
And we haven't really seen the same Lexi Blair that we saw last year, an over 400 hitter last year. This year just hitting 186 coming into this game. But like we said yesterday, good hitters, to get out of a slump, they need to play like a shooter who's in a slump in basketball. Just keep shooting. Don't let yourself get caught in that hole. You got to swing the bat.
Lou Allen now comes in with 2 outs. And Allen takes that one a little high and outside. As we mentioned yesterday, Lou Allen from Southern California, Hesperia, California native. Count 1-0. O'Leary's fallen behind these first couple hitters, but has worked back well to get a couple soft pop outs. 1-0 on the way. Lou takes that one down and in, 2-0. Michigan will have Megan Bobian in the circle when we go to the bottom half. She was magnificent yesterday. One tough inning, but cruised along and sat down the Loyola Marymount Lions in order 4 straight innings to close out that game. 2-0 on the way. And Lou swings, pops this one up again. Jammed her inside, and it's going to land in the glove of the second baseman, Janae Jefferson. For a quick 1-2-3 inning, Michigan continues their pattern yesterday of putting balls in play, but to no avail right there, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Our score 0-0 between Michigan and Texas.
Yeah, quick note on O'Leary did a great job that inning of just keeping Michigan hitters handcuffed. She didn't give them anything over the plate that they could really drive. Every pitch was either low and outside where they just kind of had to poke at it, or high and inside, tight to the body where you're not going to be able to get a full good swing on that. Again, like you said, we're going to see Megan Bobian in the circle. Like you said yesterday, she was absolutely phenomenal. Closed out the last 5 innings of the game, just 1, 2, 3 all throughout that, and she didn't even look her best. You know, the changeup wasn't always there. It was floating a little bit instead of tailing off the end, dropping like we usually see. But her fastball was there. She had great command. Going to look to clean it up a little bit today, but hopefully the same stuff.
Want to thank all of you for joining us here on WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball, and remind you that Michigan softball on WCBN Sports for this weekend only is brought to you by the Mobile Mutt, professional dog grooming brought to you. The Mobile Mutt can be found at 734-621-8693 or on Facebook and Instagram. So no score as we get ready to roll in the bottom of the first. Bobian doing her standard warm-up pitches, getting a little bit longer than you will see throughout the remainder of the game just to get set for this first inning. And Hannah Carson forms the battery with her. Michigan will play 2 games here today, and we'll be covering both of them. The second one will be coming up right after the conclusion of this game, about 30 minutes after, against Texas Tech.
Another ranked matchup.
Yep. This is a big opportunity for Michigan to get back on track and bank some wins that could help them in the resume after now losing 4 games in a row. Need to do something to turn the tide, and Texas would be a huge marquee win, given that if Texas doesn't lose another game this weekend, in all likelihood they'll be number 1 come next week after beating UCLA and Washington in consecutive days entering this weekend. First pitch on the way to Janae Jefferson, and that one is a called strike on the outside edge.
Janae Jefferson's been absolutely red hot this year. Off to the start of the season, through 21 games, batting .509, 29 hits and 57 at-bats.
Yeah, Jefferson not a power hitter, a slapper there with 5 doubles, 1 triple. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. 0-1 count, no score in this game. Bobian sets the windup in the 0-1 coming, swinging a tapper right back to the circle. She'll glove it, throw on over, and a nice extension from Lou Allen to get the very, very quick Jefferson down the line there for the first down and a 1-3 putout.
Yeah, what might seem like a routine play there is actually a very difficult play for a player like Megan Bobian, coming out of the circle, left-handed, has to field that ball, open her hips all the way back around. Made the nice throw over there, though, an even better stretch by Lou Allen.
So that'll bring up Lauren Burke.
Lauren Burke, another incredibly talented hitter for this Texas lineup, batting .489 so far this season.
Burke waits on the first offering. The windup and the pitch just a little outside. The top of this Texas lineup, very gaudy numbers. Both hitters hitting over .450, nobody else over .400. Again, Texas hasn't played the most teams of quality. This is really the weekend that is testing them, and so far they've passed the test overall. Obviously, an odd loss to Fresno State earlier today. There's a tapper right back to the circle, almost identical play, but much slower runner is Burke, and that one a lot easier of a putout, but identical 1-3 groundouts will make it very quickly 2 outs in this inning.
Yeah, Bobian kind of doing it herself here.
Yeah. And that'll bring up Courtney Day. She's the power hitter in this Texas lineup with 5 homers, the most of anyone on the team. And homers have been an issue for the Michigan pitching staff this season so far, and they got to be careful here. First pitch coming, and there's a ground ball over to short. Gloved immediately by Jimenez. Throw across the diamond for the out. That's a 6-3 putout in a 1-2-3 inning, all on the ground for Megan Bobian. And we'll go to the second inning. No score between Michigan and Texas. We didn't note the defensive alignment, but as you may have noticed on that putout, Natalia Rodriguez out of the lineup today. Michigan still bouncing around their starting lineup. They've got Jimenez at short, Overitis at second, Allen and Uden in their normal spots at the corners, and then a substitution in right field. Thais Gonzalez out of the lineup. Lauren Essman starting in right for the Wolverines. And then they'll send the hitters back up there. Michigan in the top of the first went 1-2-3 all in the air, and Texas goes 1-2-3 all on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the new lineup's working. I mean, 3 easy ground balls to close out that inning. That last one, that ball in the hole towards Juju Jimenez, those of you who are softball fundamentalists, that was about as picture perfect as you're going to get. Going to her forehand, clean transition, replaced the feet, and just made a beautiful throw over to first base.
And now O'Leary will go back out there for another inning of work. Doing her warm-ups on this very, very pleasant day. We were down at Seal Beach, California this morning, enjoying the weather. It was overall very, very pleasant, especially when the sun was out, and with it not being scorchingly hot, it was a pretty quiet day at the beach. A lot of the locals don't come out at that kind of weather, though we certainly do.
Oh, absolutely. I will take 70. I'll take 65, 70 on the beach any day of the week.
Water, as usual, quite cold for standard for the Pacific. Abby Skvars will lead things off here in the second inning. Skvars, Carson, and Maddie Uden here as we get going in the second inning. Each team looking for the first base runner of the game. Abby Skvars in that designated player role, as Michigan really does not appear to have a lineup set at all, with the offense struggling at the current moment. First pitch is fouled straight back to the screen. Looks like it went off the glove there of the catcher, Taylor Ellsworth.
Yeah, like you said, Michigan's still trying to figure out this lineup. Everybody's getting moved around. That 3-hole is really the only spot that hasn't moved very much.
Yeah.
Lou Allen and Haley Hogrenard are the only ones that haven't really moved too much.
Iacopo at third base, Slack at short, Jefferson at second, Sullivan at first. Ellsworth behind the plate, O'Leary in the circle. Second pitch just catches the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Now the count will go to 0-2.
Skvars didn't really like that one. She kind of moved her right front knee out of the way and still got called for the strike.
Hathaway, Rhodes, and Burke left to right in the outfield for the Longhorns. 0-2 on the way. Skvars swings and misses on a pitch outside, and that's a tidy 3-pitch strikeout there for O'Leary.
Yeah, O'Leary just pulled the string there on Skvars, got her on the outside corner. Last second decision by Skvars to try and throw her hands at that one and maybe poke it foul. Unable to do so, obviously. She strikes out there. It's going to bring up number 20, Hannah Carson, the lefty.
Yeah, Carson going to try to get things going for these Wolverines, searching for something. Her first base runner of the game with one out here in the top of the second. First pitch coming inside. She just nubs it down the line, and that'll be an easy put out as she went outside the base paths running down the line. It'll go down as 3 unassisted, and just like that, 2 outs in the inning.
Carson almost ran just back to the dugout there. She got about halfway down and just said, yeah, I'll go take a seat now.
And Michigan does not have the timing down right now. They're out in front of everything, not getting good contact. Soft in the infield at the current moment as Uden steps in. Uden stands in that left-handed batter's box, cocks the bat over the left shoulder. First pitch coming is a called strike at the letters. Uden steps out and takes a practice swing, gets ready to dig back in. 0-1 coming. She swings and fouls it straight back.
Nice quality swing there by Maddie Uden. Just missed that ball. Glanced off the inside handle of her bat. That was about one of the hardest swings you've seen today, though.
Now she's behind in the count 0-2. O'Leary winds up, and that one is fouled right back.
O'Leary tried to get Maddie Uden on that low outside corner, trying to clip it and paint the edge on that fastball. Good piece of hitting, though, by Uden to foul that one off. Live to fight another day.
She steps out, does a couple practice swings, and then is ready to go. Michigan, just like yesterday where they did not strike out until the 7th inning, very aggressive at the plate and generally making quite good contact. O'Leary winds up the pitch, swing and a miss on the outside part of the plate, and then it gets out of the glove. Now Ellsworth jumps up, throws down. That's a 2-strikeout inning for O'Leary, and we will go to the second. Cruising along or bottom second rather, still no score in this one.
Would like to thank you all for tuning in here, either on YouTube at our WCBN Sports YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click that little bell to make sure you're notified anytime we go live so you never miss a broadcast. And also, if you are listening on the radio, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor for some Michigan softball coverage.
Which is brought to you today by the Mobile Mutt. The Mobile Mutt Professional Dog Grooming, brought to you. Find them at 734-621-8693. Michigan wearing their all-blue uniforms here today. It's got the maize piping and the block M with the letters and numbers in maize. And Texas wearing the white uniforms. They've got the burnt orange socks, burnt orange visors, and batting helmets as well.
No, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Michigan softball unis are, I haven't seen a bad one yet.
So Mary Iacopo will lead off, a .357 hitter. Iacopo stands in that right-handed batter's box in a no-score game in the bottom of the second. Not a single batter for either team has reached base yet. First pitch coming to Iacopo. His changeup kind of just flops in there, and it bounces in. Check swing did not go. Home plate umpire today, Mark Craver. First base, Tanya Gehrig, and third base, Brendan Blum.
Bobian checking her right wristband and spinning that ball in the left hand. Taking a deep breath here. She's set to deliver the 1-0.
It is just a tad high, 2-0, and that one squirted out of the glove of Carson. She throws it back, 2-0. Bobian had issues early in the game yesterday in terms of getting ahead of hitters, but as the game went on, she was much better at being able to get those strikes in there and not fall behind. 2-0 count, wind up the pitch, swinging a ground ball over to short. Jimenez grabs it on 2 hops, throws across the diamond for the first out.
Beautiful fundamental play there by Jimenez. Caught the ball in stride, replaced the feet, great throw.
So now, with 1 out, that'll bring up Reagan Hathaway. 298 hitter, but a lot of power in that bat with 3 home runs. First pitch on the way to Hathaway is a swing and a miss. Ball just buried low in the dirt. Bobian getting her off balance right there.
That's the changeup we've seen from Megan Bobian throughout her whole career. Yesterday she looked a little off with it. It kind of floating up towards the top of the zone. That one just dropping right off the table at the end.
0-1 count. Hathaway, a lefty hitter against the lefty Bobian. Long blonde hair out of the back of the helmet. That pitch just a tad high. 1-1 the count. Megan spins the ball and it's ready to roll again. 1-1 count. That pitch called strike on the outside edge.
Yeah, you get some words of encouragement coming in from the infield there as Judi Jimenez, Overitis, and Lou Allen all walk towards the center, give her a few words of encouragement. And she sets back up here ahead in the count, 1-2.
Has a lot of room to work right now. 1-2 count, wind up the pitch, swinging a fly ball into right field, coming over and making the play pretty easily. Lauren Essman right there. And that'll bring up the second out in the inning.
Yeah, we might have had a substitution over there in right field, but the consistency hasn't changed from Gonzalez to Essman. Nice catch.
Yep, tracked that one very well. Hit more on a line than a fly. And that'll bring up Shannon Rhodes. Bobian puts the ball in the glove. First pitch, high.
Bobian looks a lot more confident today than she does yesterday. At times she looked like she was struggling with command. Haven't seen that so far yet today. 1 2/3 innings through.
1-0 count. Wind up the pitch outside, 2-0.
Got a pitcher down there in the Texas Longhorn bullpen throwing a little bit.
Beaubien toes the rubber. The 2-0 is swung on and nubbed foul. Moving over is Lou Allen, and she is not able to make the play as it goes into foul ground. Count now to 2-1.
For those of you wondering, that looks like Courtney Day down there in the Texas bullpen. She has since returned to the dugout. But here we go, 2-1 count as Storako as Beaubien steps back into the circle. My apologies.
Have not seen Storako or Dennis yet this weekend. Beaubien went the distance yesterday. 2-1 on the way. That one a tad inside, but it'll catch the edge for strike two. 2-2.
Yeah, nice frame there by Hannah Carson, catching the ball closer to her wrist rather than in the pocket of her glove to keep that illusion that the ball stayed over the plate. Good fundamental catching there.
Now 2-2 count. Megan 1 strike away from getting another 1-2-3 inning. So we have a cheer from the other field adjacent to this one. 2-2 swinging a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Megan Beaubien. It's another 1-2-3 inning. 6 up, 6 down each side. We go to the third. This game flying along at Anderson Family Field at Cal State Fullerton. In Fullerton, California, no score between Michigan and Texas. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. Anybody in the YouTube chat, if you want to throw out where you're listening from, we always enjoy those locations.
It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day here in Southern California. I'm loving every second of it.
They got a sign on the scoreboard out there. Titan time for the Cal State Fullerton Titans, apparently. Their hashtag, I guess, is Tusks Up. We saw that walking in.
Yeah, I don't really get that one.
Cal State Fullerton, coached for nearly 20 years by Judi Garman, who is the namesake of this event. She led the 1985-86 Cal State Fullerton Titans to the NCAA Softball National Championship that year. Michigan has played here for 16 straight seasons in this event. As O'Leary heads back out there, ready to go to work.
Yeah, after that last inning, that's what now, 7 straight 1-2-3 innings for Beaubien?
Let me pull it up.
Looks like 6.
3, 4, 5, so 6, 7, yeah. 7 straight in this Judi Garman Classic across 2 games, as Haley Hoganrod will lead off the third inning for Michigan. Both teams still looking for the first base runner of the game. Hoganrod and Overitis, and then Essman 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, Hoganrod's been a rock so far this year in this lineup, batting in that 7 spot.
Hoganrod, the righty hitter against the righty O'Leary. First pitch finds the inside edge for a called strike.
Seeing quite a bit of time between the pitch going into the glove and then the call coming in from Mark Craver, giving us a little time to marinate in those ones.
Yeah, you can hear from our vantage point a slight strike call if it comes. There's a swing and a hard shot ground ball right to first base, and gloved there. Sullivan went down on one knee to glove it and tap the bag. That's a ground out to first unassisted, but a pretty hard hit ball off of the bat of Hoganrod. Really the first one we've seen all day, and that'll bring up Overitis.
Yeah, really nice play there by Colleen Sullivan, like you said. Caught it in pretty much one motion, caught it, got up, and stepped on the bag.
Now Overitis, the lefty hitter, takes the first pitch for a called strike. We're standing right behind home plate, this press box. There's about 3 rows of seats, and then the press box is right there, so we have a very good straight-on view. Couldn't ask for much better. 0-1 coming is a little down and away.
Yeah, it's better vantage point means you get probably more accurate WCBN calls and our opinions on balls and strikes.
Well, our opinions are always accurate. 1-1 count. O'Leary winds up the pitch. Overitis chases it outside. Foul tip into the glove for strike 2.
And not too great of a swing there from Morgan Overritis. Unhappy with that one as she stepped out. She knew she pulled her head and missed that one. It's going to bring up the 1-2. So O'Leary steps back into the circle.
Twists and then goes over the head, winds up the pitch. Overritis swing and a miss. Basically the same spot from O'Leary, and that'll be strikeout number 3 for her.
O'Leary's been trying to paint that outside corner all day long.
She's not a huge strikeout pitcher, but Michigan right now just came out seeming very off balance in terms of timing, and right now very feeble swings, chasing pitches, not really in the zone at the moment. Credit an aggressive plate approach, but it's going to need some recalibration as Lauren Essman stands in, and she swings and misses. Now that was a pretty vigorous swing.
Yeah, Essman was trying to drive that ball. If she connected, that one might have been gone.
Essman, of course, the grand slam home run against Louisville in the final game of the Big Ten ACC Challenge down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. That helped win the game. It was a tie ball game, 4-4 at that point. She swings, hits this one into left, but coming on and making the play is Hathaway. A line out to left field. That's the hardest hit ball of the game thus far. But it's another 1-2-3 inning, and 15 up, 15 down between these two teams. We go to the bottom of the third, no score between Michigan and Texas. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, that last pitch again by Shaylin O'Leary, trying to paint that outside corner. Essman's the first one who's been able to touch it, though. Kind of drove it towards the left center gap, but a lot of tail on it coming from the lefty. Just curved right into the glove of the left fielder, Hathaway.
And now Megan Beaubien does her warm-up offerings. Neither team really showing a whole lot right now, but Essman finally at least something there for the Wolverines.
Got a couple shout-outs from people listening back at home, from Albion, Indiana, DeWitt, Michigan, listening from Nebraska as well, in Kansas City, listening from Maui on vacation. Weather's even better there than here, I'd imagine.
And so as we get ready to go here in the bottom of the third, it'll be Colleen Sullivan, then Taylor Ellsworth, and then Caitlin Slack. 7, 8, 9. Beaubien so far, 1 strikeout, 6 up, 6 down through 2 perfect innings. Trying to keep pace with O'Leary. That first pitch crowds Sullivan, and she has to back her way out of there. For those interested, Michigan hockey playing their final regular season game tonight. Still no score in the late first period between Michigan and Minnesota. We'll give you updates on that later on. A Michigan win tonight would mean they would host games at Yost Ice Arena next weekend in the first weekend of the Big Ten hockey tournament. There's a called strike, and it goes to 1-1 on Sullivan. Sullivan this year, .269 hitter, 5 doubles, no triples, no homers, 15 RBIs. This Texas team's been scoring like crazy. 1-1, just a tad outside. Mike White, the head coach of Texas, imported a lot of talent from Oregon when he came here to Austin before last season. Made quite a few College World Series appearances there in Eugene and made the Super Regionals in year 1 in Austin last season. 2-1 on the way, swinging a pop-up, shallow right field, moving over Overritis, and just on the edge of the grass will make the play for the first out.
And nice play there by Overritis, calling off Lou Allen. That's the second baseman's ball right there. Nice play overall. Yeah, like you said, this Texas team has been scoring like absolutely crazy. They have 6 players who have scored over 10 runs. One of those, Janae Jefferson, has scored 24 so far this year.
And now Taylor Ellsworth, the catcher, is ready to stand in. She's the weak spot of the lineup in terms of batting average at just 156 this year. Has started 10 games, appeared in 12, has been the normal starter behind the plate. Ellsworth steps out, takes some swings, and now ready to step back in. Beaubien puts the ball in the glove, 1-0 on the way, dives just a tad down and outside, 2-0.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, Ellsworth hitting just 156 with an OBP of just 176 really speaks to her defensive ability to be kept in the lineup. getting on base that little.
Well, catcher's one of those positions where you can get by with just defense alone, generally speaking. 2-0 coming, swinging a ground ball foul. 2-1 the count. Ellsworth out in front of that one.
In the bottom of the third here, still scoreless, still hitless. Nobody's yet to get on base either for either team. As Beaubien steps back into the circle, ready to deliver the 2-1 pitch with 1 out in towards Taylor Ellsworth.
Ellsworth waits for an offering. 2-1 coming. She swings, hits this one into left center field. Coming over Hoganrod, diving! She made the play! Haley Hoganrod lays out in shallow left center and makes a diving grab for 2 outs in the inning.
What a play by Hoganrod to track that one down. That one looked like it was falling in no man's land. That awkward spot. Does the shortstop, the left fielder, center fielder, who's going to catch that ball? Haley Hoganrod making the long trek over there from center. And like you said, laying out at the end, able to scoop that one up just before it hits the ground. Fantastic play.
And it seemed like Hoganrod and Blair both got a little bit of a slow step, maybe dealing with the sun. They both got the sunglasses and the visors on out there and had to track it in and make the play. Now with 2 outs, called for strike there to Caitlin Slack.
Yeah, it's just an awkward ball in general. You know, it didn't have too much power on it, so they might have thought that Juju Jimenez would be able to get there. But Hoganrod, nice adjustment, nice play.
0-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball to right field, but it's going to tail well foul.
Yeah, that one's well out of the stadium. It looked like it might have bounced into the track over behind us to our right-hand side. It's going to bring the count to 0-2. Beaubien in complete control here.
The windup, the pitch, swinging a high pop-up into right at the edge of the outfield grass, calling for it over right as she'll make the play. And that'll end the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning. 3 perfect innings on both sides from these two teams.
It had a swarm of Michigan defenders there. Overritis, Hoganrod, and Jimenez all there with both the left fielder and right fielder, Blair and Essman, respectively, crashing towards it.
And so this game just flying right now. No score as we head to the top of the 4th, and WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball. I want to remind you that Michigan softball on WCBN Sports today is brought to you by the Mobile Mutt. The Mobile Mutt, professional dog grooming, brought to you. You can find them at 734-621-8693 or like them on Facebook and Instagram.
Again, those of you listening at home would like to thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage here on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor or on youtube.com/WCBN Sports. We'd like to thank everybody from listening and tuning in. If you are not already, make sure to hit that red subscribe button. You can find it right below our video feed, and hit that little notification bell next to it to make sure you never miss a broadcast and you're notified anytime that we go live. Couple more shout-outs coming in from locations. We got some listening from Yale, Michigan, and another from Chelsea, Michigan. Again, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in back home. And our little brief inning intermission is over, and it looks like it's going to be Juju Jimenez stepping back into the box. The freshman shortstop this game, wearing number 17, batting right-handed. And here is O'Leary set to deliver this first one. Twists over the head and delivers the first pitch. This one swung on and hit. It's arcing deep towards left field, but caught right before the warning track.
Yeah, it looked like Hathaway had some issues tracking that ball backwards right on the edge of the track. And again, that's a similar thing to what we saw Hoganrod and Lexi Blair dealing with in a similar area. That sun is just beating down in their faces right now as sunset not for another 2 hours here at 3:41 p.m. In this game, we got through the first 3 innings complete in about 38 minutes in this game thus far. Lexi Blair looks at that one a little high for ball 1.
Yeah, we've only been live for 26 minutes so far.
Blair winds up the pitch, swing, and it shot foul. A lot of Texas fans sitting behind that Texas dugout, but also a smattering of Michigan folks. And the Michigan fans on the first base side, they've been there for a long time. They were waiting for about an hour or so. We got here about 2:15, and we came in with the understanding that we were going to need to set up in a hurry because things were actually running on schedule as there's a ball a little low. 2-1 the count, which these tournaments never run on schedule.
No, never.
But the two games before this one on Anderson Family Field actually both finished in time. Michigan had plenty of time. The game would have started at 2:30, except for the fact that Texas was in a very tight game with Fresno State on the other field. Lexi Blair swings, hits this one to left field. It's going to get over the head of the left fielder, Hathaway. Going to bounce up against the wall. Blair will stop at second, and she's finally got this game's first hit. It's a one-out double to left field.
Yeah, very similar hit to that one we saw Lauren Essman have earlier in the game. The lefty, that ball tailing away towards the left field corner, and the left fielder, Hathaway, just got absolutely abused by the sun right there. We saw that pop up from Juju a minute ago where she had to adjust to the sun. That one she couldn't adjust quick enough, and Lexi Blair ends up with a double.
Yeah, and that ball had a lot of tail on it, just like the foul ball that Blair hit a moment ago, where you think that if Hathaway plays it more properly, she makes that play easily, but she started in, then by the time she was backtracking, it sort of just tailed over her head, and Allen hammers this one, but it's going to go foul, just a tad out in front of it. Blair quick off of second base.
Yeah, that's the only downside to Shaylin O'Leary trying to paint that outside corner for those lefties. She's been hitting her spot all game. And when it's there, it's very hard to hit. But if you do get a bat on it, that thing is tailing hard away.
0-1 on the way. Oh, boy, that hits Lou. Got her on the right thigh, and she trots on down to first. And now finally, some action happening in this softball game. Two batters aboard with one out as Abby Skvars, who had the lone RBI hit yesterday, will step in.
Lou was not fazed by that one at all.
Nope.
They hit her, and she just started walking. She's like, all right, time to run the bases.
Bonnie Thole helps her take off the gear, and now Hutch over on the third base side calling something out to Lexi. Michigan sensing an opportunity here. 2 on, 1 out. The windup and the pitch from O'Leary. That one up high. Oh, boy, what a phenomenal play from Ellsworth as that changeup floated on her, and she just barely snared it out of the air. That saves both runners from moving up, and there's the defense we were talking about with Ellsworth.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she's kept in the lineup, even batting 156. Call that one a snow cone.
And now Mike White will go on out there, have a conversation with O'Leary, who was just perfect through 3, but is sputtering now and in some trouble.
And at the same time, Abby Skvars goes down there and has a chat with Carol Hutchins on the third baseline. And it looks like it's going to be umpire Mark Craver coming over to say a little something to him, and we are set to take action again.
As Skvars gets ready to stand back in a 1-0 count. Favorable situation to try and get some hits here. She bends the knees and waits for the pitch from O'Leary, just taps it back to the screen, and then it takes a moon bounce off the backstop and bounces all the way back to O'Leary over her head into the second baseman, Jefferson.
Yeah, O'Leary again trying to hit that outside corner. Abby Skvars has been really the only one besides obviously Lexi Blair that last at bat who's been able to touch that pitch in the outside corner.
1-1 count. And Skvars hits this one right on one hop to second. She's going to tag the bag for 1, but it'll go down as a fielder's choice. And oh boy, I think Jefferson could have got that ball out of the air, but she hesitated, threw on the brakes, got it off of one hop, and instead has to settle for just 1 run or 1 out. If she catches it out of the air, it's an easy double play because Blair was already off of second. Michigan catches a bit of a break.
Yeah, I mean, she thought she might have been able to just quick scoop that one up and step on the bag and maybe make the throw over to first base to get Abby Skvars. That's a tough play, tough ball to read at second base because, you know, in one hand, you want to get that ball so you can make the double play. That if you lunge forward for that one, that's an easy ball to skip past your glove and roll into the outfield. And with the speed of Lexi Blair coming off second base, she might score there.
So now Hannah Carson will stand in with 2 on and 2 out here in the 4th inning. These are the big opportunities for Michigan that they have had trouble converting on as of late, but Carson at the plate had a 3-run homer in this similar situation last weekend. Have to think Michigan will try the double steal here, too, very early in this at-bat. Infield played in against Carson And Skvarce is going, or now she holds on the brakes, got a decent jump. And that first pitch is a little high for ball one. Not sure why Sullivan at first is playing in against more of a power-oriented hitter in Carson, with 2 outs especially. 1-0 on the way. Hannah check swing, and Skvarce inching off first again, holds it off again, and now the check swing says she did go around, so now the count 1-1.
Yeah, really, Abby Skvarce doing a nice job of making Sullivan play in there. You know, her speed, you know she's going to go, and you don't want to have that awkward play where Sullivan's got to wait for Skvarce to get around her to come up and make that play, forcing her to get ahead of her so she can avoid the base runner, put her in an awkward position.
1-1 on the way, swinging the ground ball to short, gloved on one hop, and the play is made there by Slack. Pretty well hit, but Slack able to come over, glove it on one hop, and tap the bag. A pair of fielders' choices end the inning. Michigan gets 1 base runner on 1 hit, will leave 2, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. No score between Michigan and Texas. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. A few more folks in the comments. A Texas fan from Akron, Ohio. We always enjoy hearing from opposing fans who listen to our broadcasts. Listening from the border of Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor. I've been around that area many times. Another Ann Arbor, a Shepherd, Michigan, Greenville, Michigan, Chelsea, Michigan. As Megan Bobian goes back out there, this is a pitcher's duel so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Both pitchers had been perfect through 3. Michigan able to get 2 base runners on 1 hit their last inning, getting Shaylin O'Leary off that perfect streak. Megan Bobian has had 1, 2, 3 innings for the past. What is that?
That's 8
straight innings going back to last game against Loyola Marymount. Those last 5 and plus these 3 start to this game. We're going to look to keep that going here as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning.
This game just cruising along.
Heading up the bottom of the 4th inning for the Longhorns. Second baseman, number 2.
And we'll flip back to the top, Janae Jefferson. This is the 2nd time through the order for the Longhorns. So Uden and Allen both playing in with the lightning quick slapper Jefferson. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a called strike on the outside corner.
Nice pitch there by Bobian. That went in the upper left-hand corner away from Jefferson there. That's a tough pitch to bunt and a tough pitch to read, especially when you're already running towards first base.
0-1 count. Bobian winds up. That one tails away again, but it's just outside, 1-1. Those are really nice offerings because they're tailing away from the lefty hitter Jefferson. And she has not wanted to swing it either yet.
Jefferson shows bunt early. Pulls it back now.
And then the changeup floats over the head of Jefferson, and Carson will quickly throw it back. That one left the hand a little awkwardly. Mark Craver throws up his hands, signals 2-1. That pitch is going to be a called strike on the outside edge. Went back to the fastball and hits her spot. Count goes to 2-2. We've got a team out there in left field. Can't tell who that is. Texas Tech is warming up for the game that will be after this one against Michigan. They're in the bullpen. But somebody in blue are out in left field. 2-2 coming, swing and a poke foul. Jefferson putting together a longer at-bat.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first at-bat that's really stretched past a few pitches for Bobian.
Yeah. She has not had to work much today.
Jefferson doing a nice job of that.
Pitch count was just 28 entering this at-bat through 3 innings. 2-2 count. The windup, the pitch. Changeup floated again. Now the count runs full. This is one where Michigan would like to keep Jefferson off the base paths. As the count runs full, First three ball count of the game for Megan Beaubien. The windup and the payoff pitch, swinging a number over to first base, but it's going to go foul. And they'll do a full count again.
Lou getting her reps over there at first base, getting the glove foot down, cleaning that one up nicely. But like you said, going to go foul. This at-bat's going to extend even farther as we continue this full count.
Three and two the count. A windup, and they'll do it one more time. That one grounded over to second, and going to be an underhand scoop flip play from Wolverines for the first out.
Michigan's defense has been very solid throughout this game. Just fundamentals have all been there. Every play has just been made perfectly, seems like.
And now Lauren Burke will stand in. She's listed as 0 on our lineup sheet, but apparently she is officially 00 on the uniform. Wears no batting gloves, and the .489 hitter entering the game will stand in. And that first pitch just dies in the dirt inside for ball one. That last at-bat lasted 8 pitches to Jefferson and bumps Beaubien's pitch count up to 36, but she is in total command, and if she can continue to work with efficiency, she could easily have something in the tank to go at some capacity in the second game against Texas Tech. Wind up in the pitch, there's a bunt, and went around 1-1.
Giving you a little update on our observations earlier. It looks like it has Boise State out in left field.
Ah.
Explains the blue and orange.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was orange or red.
And here we go. Beaubien, the count tied 1-1, set to deliver this one.
Burke with no batting gloves and an open stance waits, and she pops this one up to shortstop, and Jimenez steps back 2 steps, makes the easy play, 2 outs.
That one looked a little awkward coming in from Juju. Took 1 step close in towards the batter's box. Hard to read again with that sun. Left field has just been brutal for these players, especially with Jimenez wearing no sunglasses.
And that'll bring up Courtney Day, the power hitter. Day hit 2 home runs earlier today against Fresno State, both solo home runs. And she watches the first pitch fall in the dirt, down and outside, 1-0.
Yeah, the freshman's been really good to start off this year through 19 games, batting almost .380 at .378 coming into this one. With 5 home runs as well, that's a team high.
1-0 on the way, that pitch outside. Beaubien very clearly trying to paint the corner on the outside edge. Hasn't hit her spot yet, though. Being very careful.
Yeah, that's the kind of hitter that Courtney Day is. 12 RBIs on the season, 5 home runs. You're going to get pitchers to throw around you.
2-0 the count. And she swings and hits this one over to short. Jimenez grabs it on 2 hops. Double clutch throw across is in time for the out. First base coach for Texas, not a big fan of that call. Jimenez, the double clutch, made it very close, but she does end up getting the out, and now that's 12 up, 12 down for Megan Beaubien in this game, and we'll go to the top of the 5th scoreless between Michigan and Texas. You're listening to Michigan softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, Lou Allen really showing off the athleticism over there at first base, stretching as far as she could, getting up to get that one.
Yeah, really nice extension there from Lou. As Michigan's offense will go back out there, it'll be Uden, Ogenrod, and Overritis to begin the top of the 5th. Michigan just looking for a run to get a lead in this game and put themselves in good position as it continues to fly along.
I got a question for you, Alex.
Yeah.
If I was to have a dog that I needed groomed but didn't have time to leave the house, what might I do?
Well, then you can go to the Mobile Mutt, who is a sponsor of this weekend of Michigan softball. The Mobile Mutt, professional dog grooming brought to you. You can find them at 734-621-8693 or on Facebook and Instagram.
Fantastic. Good to know. Thank you. Beaubien again, extending that to 9 straight innings, 1, 2, 3. Again, flashing back to last game against the last 5.
It's a baseball perfect game over 2 contests.
Due up for Michigan is going to be Uden, Hogenrod, and Overitis. No hits between the 3 of them today, the 2 seniors and the sophomore, respectively. There comes the throwdown from Ellsworth, and we are set to go in the top of the 5th inning. For those of you interested in the Michigan hockey at all,
Still no score.
Yeah, just into the start of the 2nd period.
Uden, the lefty hitter, looking to get something going for the Wolverines. First pitch from O'Leary. Uden shows bump, pulls it back, and it is taken for a ball a little low.
Very sneaky bunt attempt by Uden there. Very last second. Was going to try to put that one down. Looked like the third base line. She tried to catch Jacopo sleeping.
Yeah, not a typical bunter is Uden, trying to catch somebody off guard. 1-0 coming. She swings and pops this one up into foul territory, moving over towards the line and making the play there is Slack, running over from the shortstop position for the first out.
Yeah, it's a nice play there. Not as difficult as those pop-ups that have just stayed kind of straight on, as she was running with her back to the sun there. Didn't have to worry about that one. Again, nice play by Caitlin Slack. That's going to bring up number 32, Haley Hogenrod, the right-hander.
Hogenrod wearing the usual number 32, stands in there. First pitch, she swings and slices this one to right field, but it'll drop just foul. A little late on that swing, but put a decent charge into it.
Yeah, as Morgan Overitis goes up and picks her bat up from the left-hander's batter's box and hands it to her on the way by. Everybody resetting after that one. Mark Craver throws his mask back on, and we are set to go.
And there's a swing and a line drive into left field, a base hit. That's going to get into the corner. That'll be extra bases. Takes a hard bounce off the wall, and Hogenrod will stride in with a 1-out double. And for the 2nd straight inning, Michigan gets a 1-out extra base hit.
Yeah, it feels like any time Haley Hogenrod hits the ball, it's about a 50-50 shot of it being a double. That's her 6th double of the year.
Put a really good charge into it, and now Overitis, the number 8 hitter, will step up. Michigan, another runner in scoring position situation. Overitis adjusts the jersey and then will stand in, the righty hitter. Michigan starting to get some better swings against O'Leary. And there's a swing and a foul off.
You know, I said that 50-50 stat just kind of as a joke, but it should be noted that with that double, that'll be her 13th hit of the year and her 6th double.
And Overitis will wait for the 0-1 offering. She watches that changeup sail high for ball 1. The count evens.
Hogenrod with decent speed over there on second base. Going to look to score anything in the outfield. Overitis looking to drive for a pitch. Here comes the 1-1.
That one a called strike right on the outside part of the plate now, 1-2. Really good pitch there. O'Leary coming back to paint the corner. She got Overitis swinging on strikes back in the 3rd inning rather. 1 out here in the top of the 5th, still no score. Runner on second, 1 out. Overitis swings, hits this one over to second. That's going to move the runner up, and a 4-3 putout will make it 2 outs in the inning, and now the runner on third in potential position to score on a wild pitch.
And that's going to bring up the lefty freshman, number 12, Lauren Essman. Essman taking over that right field position this game for Thais Gonzalez. Looking to do some damage and get Michigan on the board in the top of the 5th here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from O'Leary. This one swung on and chopped hard towards second base. Fielded awkwardly, but just able to make the play over there is Jefferson. And that's going to do it for the 5th inning. Michigan again scoreless. Leaves 1 runner on, that being Hogenrod over there at third base. And we're going to go to the bottom. Score still 0-0.
Yeah, Michigan getting some decent swings, but not able to fully connect there. And another double is stranded as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Beaubien is going to take the circle again. Still the only Michigan pitcher we've seen so far this weekend. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, either on youtube.com/WCBN Sports or on WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. If you are listening on YouTube and you are not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You can find it right below your video feed, that red rectangular button. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell as well right next to it to be notified anytime we go live so you never miss a broadcast.
Beaubien warming up. She continues to be perfect through 4. Michigan knew they were going to need good pitching to get through this game against a potent Texas lineup. They've gotten it so far. And now Mary Iacopo ready to step in the batter's box. Beaubien winds up, and there's a swing and a miss.
Good pitch there by Beaubien, getting Iacopo to chase up in the zone. That one just fastball up right in the middle of the plate. Good pitch. Nothing real fancy there from Beaubien, just going right at the hitter.
Iacopo grounded out to short to begin the second inning. And this one is fouled straight back at us. Now the count quickly runs to 0-2. Iacopo, rather tall stature, wearing no batting gloves. Aggressive swings right now.
We don't need this now. I would have caught that one right here.
It was tailing away from our angle.
Carson gets back into her stance, and Beaubien set to deliver the 0-2.
There's one just a tad high and outside, 1-2. Iacopo watches it.
Even though that one is called the ball, Beaubien still in complete control of the count, 1-2.
Yeah, you got a couple of chases. Put one a little outside. Didn't quite get her to bite, but a good offering nonetheless. 1-2 count.
If you're Beaubien, this is where you probably go to that changeup ahead in the count, and there it is.
Yeah, and it's just a tad outside, fluttered up in the air, and Iacopo watches it. Now the count evens at 2 apiece. Michigan's dugout wanted the called third strike, but Mike Craver was not giving it.
Yeah, that one barely missed. Beaubien now, count tied up 2-2.
The windup and the pitch. Swing! Or rather, called strike 3. She did her check swing and then held up, but it was a called strike 3 anyway. Frozen on the changeup as it just deposits itself right in the zone for a called third strike. And that will now be strikeout number 2 of the game for Beaubien. And the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's going to bring up the left fielder, number 7, Reagan Hathaway. Hathaway swings on this first one right back to Beaubien, though, fielded cleanly and flips it over to first base for the second out of this inning. Nice play.
Absolutely artful pitching right now from Megan Beaubien.
Center fielder, number 13, Shannon Rhodes.
And now Shannon Rhodes will get ready to stand in with 2 outs. First pitch is a changeup that she lost control of over the head of the batter, Rhodes. Struck out swinging her last time up.
Beaubien settling back in now, spinning that ball in the left hand with a big deep breath, and here's the windup. This one.
Oh, that was coming right back at us.
Yeah, that one was going right for Drain's forehead if that net wasn't there.
And
again, still don't think we need it. You would have caught it.
1-1 count. Well, the concern would be the equipment in this room. Lots of laptops here in this press box.
I guess.
1-1 count.
Get the laptops a glove.
There's a swing and a fly ball into right center field. Well hit, but now coming over, kind of misjudging it at first was Hoganrod. Now she's able to find it out of the sky and make the play. Another 1-2-3 inning, 15 up, 15 down for Megan Bobian in this game. Still no score as we head to the 6th. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, that one stayed in the air for a long time. Hoganrod had plenty of time to go over and adjust even after making the wrong read. Coming up for the Michigan lineup, it's going to be the top of the order. It's going to be Jimenez, Blair, and Allen. Lexi Blair with only 2 hits for the Wolverines today. She had a double.
This will be a good group of hitters to finally get that run across. Michigan's got to feel good about the way they're pitching right now, but have to find a way to grind out a run, small ball or not.
Yeah, something would be huge for Michigan is to get Jimenez on early. You know she has speed, and especially with Lexi Blair coming off that last at-bat with that double. Local time here in Fullerton, California is 4:08 p.m. Again, we'd like to thank you for listening from all around the country, especially back home in Michigan. Weather here in Fullerton is a beautiful 68 degrees. Feels like just that.
You sound like the airplane pilot when the plane lands. Reading off the local time and weather. No score in this game as the top of the 6th gets ready to roll. We just passed the 1 hour mark. And Julia Jimenez ready to stand in. She was Michigan's most consistent hitter yesterday.
And the freshman steps in now as O'Leary winds up. This pitch swung on and fouled back towards the Texas dugout. It's going to bring the count to 0-1.
Jimenez today, a pair of flyouts to left field. She's kept Reagan Hathaway busy out there. O'Leary twists, winds up, and delivers the second pitch rather. Tap foul, 0-2 now.
And that one rolling down the third base line. Jimenez has really picked up her approach at the plate over the start of the season. I mean, that first weekend in Tampa, we saw her with just 2 hits in that whole weekend, was hitting the ball hard, just couldn't find gaps. Has brought her average up from just over 100 to just under 300, hitting at 298 coming into this one.
But she was Michigan's one bright light yesterday offensively. Came around to score their only run on an RBI single from Abby Skvars. The 0-2 fouled off way late on a pitch down and away, and she just poked it to the screen.
Yeah, Juju didn't really see anything she liked there, but knew it was too close to take. Fouls it off, lives to fight another day. And O'Leary's going to have to step back into the circle again and go right at the freshman. 0-2 count.
And that one is swung on and tipped into the glove for a called strike 3 for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, pretty much same pitch as that one that came the pitch before. Just, again, very nice defensive work back there behind the plate from Taylor Ellsworth. Again, just proving why she deserves to be in that spot.
Now Lexi will stand in the batter's box, ready to roll. Double back. And her last time up in the 4th inning. One of Michigan's 2 hits today, one of 2 hits total in this game between the two teams. Lexi adjusts the batting helmet and takes that one right down the pipe for a called strike, 1-1.
Lexi looked like she wanted that one called a little high and outside, but nice frame by Ellsworth, bringing that one back down into the zones. Going to even out the count to 1-1. As Lexi Blair steps back into that left-hander's batter's box.
Wind up the pitch. She swings, hits this one into right field. It's going to get down into the corner. That's going to bounce off the wall, and it will be her second double of the game. No, she's going to head to third. Throw in there, and she's now in a pickle. Now running back to third base. Throw over there. Now running back to second. Throw over there. She's going to run back to third. Throw over there, and she'll be tagged out. That seemed like a play where it was a smart thing to stop at second base, and she took a hard turn and was going to be out by a mile, decided to just get a little exercise and get caught in the rundown there.
Yeah, that one just took an unlucky bounce for Lexi Blair. I mean, she read that ball out of the box and was thinking triple as soon as she hit that one. That one was put perfectly into the corner. But a super lucky break for Texas as that ball bounced right up off the wall and into the glove of Burke, who made a stellar throw to get Lexi in that throwdown.
Yeah, that was a snipe there from Burke and right on line. That's the third hit of the game for Michigan, but erased immediately and robbing Lou Allen of another RBI opportunity as she takes ball one. That is a crucial mistake. I was not watching to see if Hutch had waved Lexi around, but it seemed like an ill-advised decision either way, whether it was Lexi who did that or not. That pitch from O'Leary down and outside, 2-0 on Allen.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't the worst decision overall.
I mean, there's something to be said for being aggressive in a game where you're not getting hits.
Exactly. Aside from the lucky bounce that it took for Texas and the stellar throw coming in from left field from Burke.
I mean, it's really a point-counterpoint. The argument for being aggressive there is that you're not scoring, so you need to manufacture. On the other hand, you're not getting base runners. You need base runners, so hold off. There's a called strike, 2-1.
I mean, you can't falter right there as this count does go to 2-1, like you just said. You know, she has the wheels, and she read triple coming out of the box, was going hard the whole way. But with a power hitter like Lou Allen up in a game where you need runs, probably best case is to stay on second as Lou follows that one deep out towards right field. That one looks like it bounced out of the stadium.
2-2. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are tired of hitting in that bullpen, so they moved out to left center field where they continue to swing. They've got to be pretty happy with how fast this game is going. They'd like to see one of these teams get a run and then have this game get over and they can get out on the field. There's a swing and a miss, and Allen is down on strikes. And that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Michigan gets a hit. Don't leave any, though, and we go now to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Still no score between these teams. Hockey score update, Michigan 1, Minnesota nothing. 8 minutes to go in the second period in that game in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As Beaubien goes back out there, she's gotten 5 1-2-3 innings thus far and will look to keep it going.
Absolutely. Again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in here on WCBN Sports, whether you're tuning in on YouTube or at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor.
We'll be on the FM airwaves for about 15 more minutes. And then we will continue even after we go off on FM on YouTube, as always, until the conclusion of this game. And then we will have the second game about 15 or 30 minutes, depending on how long it is, after this one. That'll be against Texas Tech. I've really enjoyed the soundtrack here at the stadium. Been very solid.
Yeah, soundtrack hasn't really missed, honestly. They played the Cha-Cha Slide earlier.
It was the Cupid Shuffle.
Cupid Shuffle, sorry.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake right there.
Which was a little interesting because, like we said, I haven't heard that played at a stadium before.
Yeah, stadiums and not really conducing to line dancing. The seats get in the way.
That'd be something. We start a flash mob. Between games, let's do it. Anyway, back in action here as Beaubien takes the circle. It's going to be Colleen Sullivan, the first baseman, stepping into that right-hander's batter's box.
Beaubien winds up, and there's a pitch that trails on the inner half of the plate, but then ends up leaving the zone for ball one.
Yeah, Hannah Carson held that one for a while. She wanted that strike call. Beaubien takes a long look over there towards the dugout on the first base side and checks the wristband. She's set to deliver the 1-0. Here's the windup.
And there's a line drive into right center field. That one's going to get down up against the wall. Picked up there by Hogenrod, and that's going to be a leadoff double, first base hit of the day for the Texas Longhorns. And things will get interesting.
Runner.
Yeah.
And just like that, Beaubien's 5 perfect innings in this game come to a close after 10 straight perfect innings, flashing back the last game against Loyola Marymount. Knew it had to come to an end soon, as all good things do. We're going to have a substitution over there at second base for Texas. We're going to have a pinch runner. Looks like it's number 24. Looks like it's going to be Dermargosian coming in for Colleen Sullivan.
Well, runner on second now. And I have to think Taylor Ellsworth will be bunting here. Michigan's got fielders pulled in at the lines. One drop down, throw over by Uden is in time, and so the 5-3 sacrifice moves the runner up. And now the go-ahead run is at third.
Exactly, with one out. A runner on third. Michigan kind of goes into prevent mode here. Infield's going to be playing in. Cut away any infield singles, turning into an RBI.
And now Jen Brundage will come out and talk about how to get the strikeout, which Michigan will need here. With one out and a runner on third.
Yeah, for Michigan, Caitlin Slack isn't really the person you want up in this situation with a runner on base. I mean, 519 slugging and 11 RBIs on the year. You know she's going to put the ball in play and is going to hit it hard. Batting .370 so far this year.
And now the meeting in the circle breaks. And here we go. It'll be Bobian against Slack, who popped out to second her last time up. Michigan would enjoy that. First pitch is a changeup that dives in the zone, down and away for ball one.
Yeah, nice block there by Carson, keeping that runner at third base.
Wind up in the 1-0. That one's right down the pipe for called strike.
Nice frame there by Carson, scooping that one up a little low. Texas fans throwing out their own arguments on that call. But the count does even out. Bobian steps back into the circle with the count 1-1. One out and a runner in scoring position over there on third base. That's Sullivan.
Infield drawn in run prevention mode. Ball in the glove, the windup, the pitch, swinging a high fly ball into deep center field. This might get it done. Hoganrod is backing up towards the track, makes the catch, and the pinch runner coming home will score easily. And Texas takes a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, that's about as textbook as you can get. Caitlin Slack with a deep sack fly to score that runner from coming in from third base, that one being DeMarco Rosen. Nice play, though, by Hoganrod. Made that play a little interesting. Deep throw, skip towards Hannah Carson, just about a third of a second too late. Texas takes the board.
That brings up Janae Jefferson, and they will be 3 outs away from the victory in the top of the seventh. Now the windup, the pitch, called strike on the inside edge. 0-1 count.
Bobian taking her time, takes a deep breath here, and is settling back in towards Janae Jefferson. The windup on 0-1. This one swung on the ground. Diving towards that one is Overitis, unable to get that one. Just glances off the edge of the glove. Texas with another base runner here as Janae Jefferson reaches on a single. It's going to bring up number 00, the right fielder, Lauren Burke. Texas hadn't gotten even on base up until this inning and is finally starting to break that open here. That's 2 straight runners on.
Well, and that's an interesting one off the bat of Jefferson, because if the infield is playing her straight up, they make that play easily, but drawn in with the slapper, not able to make it. Now that first pitch down in the zone.
Yeah, nice block there by Hannah Carson, keeping Jefferson out of scoring position, still stuck over there on first base.
Bobian puts the ball in the glove, the windup, and that one swing and a miss. Throw on down from Carson as Jefferson stealing. It is not in time. Really good throw, but not quite able to get it with the lightning quick Jefferson moving in to scoring position. Now a huge at-bat for Bobian right here.
No, even though they didn't get it, should be highlighted. The tag attempt by Juju Jimenez. That's something that really never gets appreciated much. on a steal attempt. As usually most credit goes to catcher. Great throw by Hannah Carson. But Juju Jimenez with the scoop and dive trying to get Jefferson last second. Unable to do it, though. Jefferson now in scoring position. Beaubien set to deliver the 1-1.
That one swung on and tapped over to first. Allen knocks it down, has to get to it. Does she tag the runner? She does. And that will end the inning. A ground out to first unassisted ends the inning, but Texas gets the run. They lead 1-0, and we go to the top of the 7th. Game on the line right here for Michigan.
Yeah, due up for Michigan is going to be Abby Skvars.
Skvars, Carson, and Uden. It'll be interesting to see if Hutch will go to any pinch hitters at all at any point. And the shade now starting to cover good chunks of the field. The diamond in particular, pretty well covered. Outfield still pretty sparse. And sunny left field, especially right field, starting to deal with the shadows. At Anderson Family Field at Cal State Fullerton in Fullerton, California. Skvars out there in the on-deck circle. She looks certain to step in and swing the stick.
Yeah, looking to keep Michigan's chances going here as they are down 1-0 going in the top of the 7th. Texas just 3 outs away from a bounce-back victory after that loss earlier today against Fresno State.
They reinsert Sullivan for the pinch runner, and Skvars will get ready to stand in. Shaylin O'Leary will try to finish off a complete game shutout, and Michigan's offense came into this weekend in some trouble. Got 1 run yesterday, none today, and those issues have not been alleviated yet. We'll see if Skvars can get something going here. We saw her have some really nice swings yesterday, a fly out to the track, as a matter of fact.
And here we go. O'Reilly stepping into the O'Leary, stepping into the circle. Here's the pitch.
A swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup, buried itself in the dirt, and Skvars swung right over it.
Yeah, really nice pitch there. Stepping back in at a disadvantage now is Skvars. 0-1 count.
The windup and the pitch, that one down and in. 1-1. Skvars steps out. Now digs back in. Miranda Ellish warming up in the Texas bullpen. Skvars swings and misses there. And now the count goes to 1-2 after think they might bring Ellish in for the save if Michigan can get a base runner in this inning. They've had one in each of the last 3 innings. Doubles every time. But they never had one with nobody out in the inning, which is what Texas got in the 6th, and they were able to manufacture that run as a result with 2 sacrifices. Skvars swings and fouls this one off.
Yeah, that one bounces up into the stands. Over to a few Michigan fans. They might have a souvenir if they hide that one well.
Now the count goes to 1-2. O'Leary holds up the glove to try and see the batter, and there's a swing and a foul tip off the glove and back to the screen. And Ellsworth readjusts, stands back in there behind home plate. The count remains 1-2. O'Leary twists the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. Skvars chases a pitch way high, and that'll be a swinging strikeout as O'Leary has now struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters.
And the Texas dugout and crowd erupts as that is going to be 1 out here. Texas just 2 outs away from wrapping this one up. Hannah Carson's going to step into the box for the Michigan Wolverines. And over there in the on-deck circle is Maddie Uden. So Michigan staying true to their lineup, sticking to their guns here in the top of the 7th. First pitch, that one.
Called strike.
Yeah, that one right down Broadway for Hannah Carson. She laid off that one, though.
And O'Leary winds up, 0-1 on the way. That a called strike on the outside edge. O'Leary's looked really good today, and the count runs to 0-2.
Yeah, Carson and Carol Hutchins alike, both unhappy with that call.
Just takes one swing. Carson's got the power. See if she can deliver one.
O'Leary blocking the sun with her glove and sets up.
Wind up, the 0-2 coming. Carson swings, hits this one into left field, a base hit. And she's going to take a hard turn at first, but will stay there. Michigan's got a single with one out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, Michigan's got some life now as Maddie Uden steps into the box. The senior going to look to keep Michigan's chances going here. We're going to have a substitution. Going to have a pinch runner over there at first base. It is going to be Natrod coming in to run for Hannah Carson. First appearance for Natalia Rodriguez today in this game.
And you wonder if they're going to send Natalia Rodriguez, move her into scoring position. I have to think so.
Running at first base for number 20, Hannah Carson. Junior, number 21, Natalia Rodriguez. At the plate for the Wolverines,
Uden will stand in.
Addison Uden.
Hoganrod will be on deck. Hoganrod doubled her last time up, and Michigan can get her to the plate. That's not a bad position to be in. Carson just smacked a ball opposite way to left field for a base hit. Wind up, the pitch to Uden is a little high and inside for ball one.
Yeah, we know Uden has decent power in that bat. Might see a hit and run here with the speed of Natalia Rodriguez over there at first base.
She's hunched over, ready to run. O'Leary blocks the sun out, twists, winds up. Rodriguez is running, and that one is sliced into foul ground. It will get out of play. Now 1-1.
Yeah, we did see that hit and run attempt there from Michigan. Not too sure if you'll see it again now as Texas is aware of that. But the count is even 1-1, one out here in the top of the seventh. Michigan trying to get a run across to keep this contest going.
Trailing 1-0. Uden taps the plate, cocks the bat over the left shoulder. The windup shows bunt, pulls it back. It's down and away.
O'Leary turns and says something to her defense. She steps back into the circle now. O'Leary looks calm, cool, and collected out there.
2-1 the count. Uden's got some power too. Just takes one swing, 2-1 on the way. She swings, hits this one, just foul down the first base line. Tucked on the wrong side of the foul line. She really just rolled it over, but it was almost a perfect spot. And instead the count will even at 2-2.
Yeah, like you said, that one about 3 inches away from being what probably would have been a double. Natalia Rodriguez might have been able to score on that one. She had a good jump, and that ball wasn't rolling too hard towards left field. But the count is even now, 2-2.
O'Leary winds up. The pitch, Uden swings, hits this one over to the glove of Jefferson. She makes the sidearm flip, but she did her job, and that moves the runner up to second. Productive out on the 4-3 putout. And now Hoganrod playing to extend this game.
That's a really nice play over there by Janae Jefferson at second base. Had to read that one coming around. Natrod still able to barely reach out and grab it, and like you said, that backhand flip to get the out. Michigan now on their last leg as Haley Hoganrod steps up to the plate with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Michigan down 1-0 in the top of the seventh.
Hoganrod's grounded out to first today, as well as the double her last time up, stranded there. A double here gets it done and ties the game. Can Haley deliver it?
Here we go. Hoganrod takes a deep breath and looks at her bat and steps into that right-hander batter's box. Looking to do some damage here and keep Michigan going in the top of the seventh.
Hoganrod waits. First pitch coming is a called strike. Changeup froze her on the outside edge.
Yeah, you can see she was expecting fastball there, fired the hips early, and then just had to settle back in as that changeout just floated by. Hoganrod now at a disadvantage, count 0-1. Shaylin O'Leary taking her time, looks at the wristband and winds up for the second pitch.
0-1 is just off the plate outside. Another really good offering from O'Leary. Froze Hoganrod, and now Mike White will come up. 1-1 is the count, and he will have a conversation with O'Leary. He's trusting the right-hander to finish this game off and not have to bring in the ace O'Leary. I mean the ace Ellish, rather.
I don't see why you wouldn't. The only danger is the fact that it is Haley Hoganrod up at the plate, and you know that if she puts the ball in play, it's most likely going to be a double. Extra base hit will score Natalia Rodriguez from over there at second base. Three of Michigan's 4 hits have been doubles. And here we go. Count tied up 1-1 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position as Michigan looks to continue this contest. Hoganrod up at the plate.
1-1 count. The windup, the pitch. That one gets through, and it will go to the backstop. Rodriguez goes on down to third on the wild pitch. That one just a little down and outside, and then it took a hard hop off the dirt and just skipped straight back and between the wickets as Ellsworth goes to grab it back. 2-1 the count now. Runner on third, Rodriguez, the pinch runner for Carson.
Huge break for Michigan. Now that ball doesn't have to be as hard hit to get this runner to score pretty much anything in which Hoganrod reaches safely. Will be an RBI.
2-1 coming, fouls it straight back. A little late on that swing. And now the count runs to 2-2. Texas 1 strike away.
Texas might be 1 strike away, but Michigan just 1 swing away from keeping this one going. It's a glorious softball. Can't run out the clock. Got to go right at the hitter. So here we are, top of the 7th. 2 strikes, 2 outs.
2-2 count. O'Leary spins the ball. The windup, the pitch, swing, and a foul off. Hoganrod's gotten in a lot of long at-bats this year, and she's battling here.
Yeah, you know Hoganrod's going to fight.
We've seen a couple wild pitches from O'Leary in this game. Winds up. 2-2, down and away. Hoganrod lays off. And now the count runs full. Morgan Overitis on deck for the Wolverines.
This is the stuff dreams are made of here. Full count, 2 outs with a runner on.
Michigan down to their final strike in a 1-0 hole.
Every kid has played out in their backyard.
The windup, the 3-2, swing and a tapper over to third. It's going to roll foul, though. And Hoganrod continues to protect the plate well.
Great adjustment there by Haley Hoganrod. Again, like we saw earlier in that at-bat, she fired the hips early, expecting fastball, and got the changeup, reached out, and just poked it foul. She's going to live to fight another day.
Hoganrod adjusts the batting gloves, steps back in. The windup, the 3-2, swing and a line drive, but foul down the third base side. Another late swing, or rather early swing. She's hit the last 2 on that side. This will be pitch number 9 in the at-bat. O'Leary entered this at-bat with a pitch count of just 69 pitches, so this will be number 78 on the day. The windup, the 3-2 one more time, fouled off. That one was a late swing from Hoganrod. Sent it the other way.
Again, like we said, Haley Hoganrod is going to fight. She's not going to go down easy. This at-bat, again, extending into double digits almost. And here we go. Hoganrod stepping back in with the full count, 2 outs, and a runner on with a chance to tie this one up.
The windup, the 3-2. That one in the dirt. And Hoganrod gets on down to first base. The Michigan dugout fired up. Now runners on the corners. 2 outs. Let's see if we see anyone coming out of the Texas dugout. Not yet. Looks like they're going to let O'Leary face Overitis, who steps in.
Yeah,
Continue to look in that dugout, and they're going to let her pitch.
If I'm Michigan, I'd love to have Morgan Overitis in this scenario. 343 hitter on the year. You know she's consistent.
And the double steal will obviously be in play. There's a swing and a miss, and heading on down is Hoganrod. No throw from Sullivan. That's what we've seen from Overitis today, just kind of late lackadaisical swings. Hoganrod moves up, and so now all of a sudden a single could put Michigan in the driver's seat to win this game. 0-1 on the way. Overitis, a late swing, fouls it off now behind 0-2. She struck out swinging back in the third.
This isn't a position you like to be in if you're Morgan Overitis. O'Leary in complete control here with the count 0-2 and 2 outs.
Overitis has been up there swinging. Got to think O'Leary's not going to put one over the plate. 0-2 on the way. That one well outside. Now throw on back to Natalia Rodriguez at third. She dives back in. 1-2. Overitis lays off there. Hutch claps a couple times. Overitis adjusts the batting helmet. Steps back in.
Yeah, it's a risky play if you're Ellsworth. Don't want to throw away a run, literally.
Texas fans on their feet. The 1-2. That one down and outside. Did not go on the check swing. Said the third base umpire, Brandon Blum.
Having flashbacks of last at bat.
Lauren Essman on deck. 2-2 count now. O'Leary looks into the dugout, checks the wristband. The windup. The pitch, swinging a fly ball to left field, and it will be caught on a line by Hathaway, and that'll end the game. She battled the sun at first, didn't look super confident, but that'll do it, and Texas wins 1-0.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Michigan, but they did not go down without a fight. They got that first runner on, and then back-to-back at-bats, tough at-bats. I mean, that one from Hoganrod went 10 pitches. Went strike, ball, foul ball, ball, and then 3 more foul balls.
Next game will be at 5:10 p.m., and we will then sign off from this one. Final score from Anderson Family Field, Michigan 0, Texas 1, and we will be back in about 30 minutes.